So today's topic is the Mediterranean diet. This is, by the way, just before I go into this, any advice that I give you guys or any topics that I talk about is stuff that I are currently doing with my training, with my nutrition. I only recommend stuff that not only I've done, it's been successful with me getting in shape, staying in shape. And then also I have coached over the last 5 years, like 300 plus guys. So this isn't me just giving you a load of waffle and saying, try this, try that. Like, it actually works if you apply it. So just bear that in mind. And I'll never recommend anything that I haven't done myself and hasn't been successful with myself or other people. So but what I do basically is going to help you. So listen, apply it, and I promise you, you'll get great results from it. So the Mediterranean diet, this isn't just me making this up. This is obviously a diet that many Mediterranean people use. I grew up in a household with 2 Italian parents. So I think a lot of people think that I grew up in an Italian household. So all I ate was like pasta, lasagna, pizza, meatballs, ice cream. It's a little bit of that stuff, but honestly, mainly how I've been brought up to eat has just been very, very simple, whole ingredient, whole foods, minimal ingredients on the plate. So like, for example, how I used to eat when I was younger is the same as how I eat now. So like, a plate of food will literally look like protein, carbs, veggies, salad, and then some fats. So for example, my mum always used to cook and still does, like a simple dinner could be like salmon, white or sweet potato or brown rice, vegetables or salad, and then like olive oil, avocado, something like that. So like, that's how I've always grown up to eat. So like, how I eat now, it's not new to me. It's very, very easy and it's very simple. And I didn't realize at the time, because that's just how I ate when I was younger to eat. Obviously, when I got into training, I didn't realize that that is the best way to eat. And I believe that's the case because so many people these days are trying to force down your throat and force the agenda of like, if it fits your macros, or be as flexible as possible with your nutrition, just eat whatever you want, as long as you hit your calories, as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you're gonna lose fat. I believe that's the worst way to approach things. I've done it before. I've had clients that have come to me and followed the same approach. It doesn't work very well. It can for some people, of course, everybody's different. But the reason why I think that's not the best way is because what you end up doing is you end up not focusing on food quality and just the numbers. And when you just focus on the numbers, what usually ends up happening is you eat more of the things that you probably shouldn't, more of the highly processed foods, which leaves you feeling hungry. And when you're hungry in a diet, let's be honest, although it's part of it, the hungrier you are, the more you're probably gonna end up snacking. And secondly, there are literally studies that show that the more hyperpalatable foods that you have, the more junk food that you have, the more you're gonna crave more of that stuff. And you've probably experienced it yourself. The more that you eat, like if you go out the weekend and you eat a pizza, you're probably gonna crave more of that the next day. If you go out and eat a load of sweets, you crave more of those things. You rarely ever crave more of eating a bowl of fruit. Although it's nice and it fills you up, you're not gonna be left there thinking, I need more and more and more of that. So there's something to be said about that alone. So naturally, when you eat these types of diets, they are naturally harder to stick to. The reason why I love the Mediterranean style approach is because, one, the obvious thing, it's healthy and it's nutritious. Like, obviously what you put in your body is important, not just for the results you want to achieve, but how you feel, your skin, your hair, your sleep, your energy levels, how you show up every single day with work, your productivity, like less of the, which clients say all the time, less of like crashing after lunch, more sustained energy. Like, imagine if you could literally have an extra 1 to 2 hours of energy every single day. That's possible when you actually fuel your body with the right foods. Like, completely nothing to do with just how you look, like that is just how you feel, and that's an important thing. The second reason why is because it's filling. Like, when you're eating a plate of food that is made up of whole foods, naturally the calories are generally a lot lower than what you might be eating before. But it's a dense plate of food. And when you're dieting, you want to be as full as possible. So for example, if you are eating a plate of like chicken breast, which is a lean source of protein, low calories, high protein, let's say you're eating 200 grams of that. Then you're eating 200 grams of veggies and you're eating 100 grams of potato, 5 grams of olive oil. That is probably like 500-600 calories. So like, anybody can fit that into their diet. That's about half a kilo, or just over half a kilo's worth of food. And you can even fit more onto that. Imagine how much more filling that is in your stomach than just eating a massive plate of pasta, which is like 100 grams with a load of, I don't know, highly processed stuff, or just, it could be, let's just say you're eating 100 grams of pasta, or like 150 grams of pasta on your plate, loads of cheese, loads of olive oil. You could easily rack up the same amount of calories as what I've just mentioned, but one's gonna be a lot more filling than the other one. So that's why it's so important. You can literally eat more food whilst losing more body fat and not even really feel like you're dieting. Like, that's the power, and that's the most important part of this style of eating, is that you are generally just gonna be full a lot of the time. There's less chance you're overeating, there's less chance of you snacking, there's less chance of you having higher amount of cravings throughout the day. So that's generally why I recommend it. The goal of dieting is how can you eat as much food as possible for the amount of calories that you've set yourself. Because there's a difference between somebody who eats, for example, like let's say there's two people, you've got person A, you've got person B. Person A goes for if it fits your macros approach, or very flexible style of eating, and both of these people are eating, say, 1,800 calories a day. Person A could literally be starving on 1,800 calories. Person B could be very, very full. The difference is person A is eating foods that are a lot more calorie dense. So like naturally their stomach is a lot fuller throughout the day, and most of their plates of food might be 100, 200 grams. Person B, same amount of calories, high quality of foods, rarely ever full, a lot of the time feeling quite full, because most of their plates of food are like 5, 6, maybe even 700 grams worth of food on the plate. That person's going to be a lot fuller, that person will be a lot more satisfied, that person's going to stick to a calorie deficit and lose fat way more effectively. So that's why, another reason why it's so important to obviously follow this style of eating. And the other reason why is just simple. Like, you don't have to be a chef. You can go into the kitchen and just put 3 to 4 ingredients together, season it. It doesn't, you don't have to be Gordon Ramsay to be able to make these meals. They're nutritious and they taste pretty good anyway. You can add a bit of hot sauce, which is low calorie. Again, the seasonings are low calorie, you can add those in. You can make it as interesting as you want. So you don't have to have these complicated recipes where you're now having to buy loads of ingredients from the supermarket and you're having to like follow this TikTok recipe, and like you're a busy guy. So you end up spending so much time trying to cook in the evening, it becomes another stress you don't need. Whereas like when you have these meals, like yesterday I cooked lunch, I had chicken breast, it took 5 or 10 minutes, if that. Microwave rice, 2 minutes, if that. Vegetables, 5 minutes. Like I put this meal together in 10 minutes, then 10 minutes to 15 minutes later it was eaten. So that's a very quick way of being able to prep your food. You spend way less time in the kitchen, because then you can spend more time on your work, your social life, the gym, all these other things that are important to you. So you're not spending hours trying to prep these overcomplicated recipes and meals, because trust me, you do not need them. And the simplest thing as well, just on top of that, I'm just rambling off the top of my head now, that I find really helpful, especially with clients, is that when you have this meal structure of protein, carbs, vegetables, right? Let's say chicken, as an easy example, chicken, potato, vegetables. Let's say all of those are 200 grams. If you're bored of that, the easiest way to swap these things is just keep the grams the same. 200 grams chicken can be swapped for 200 grams of turkey mince, turkey breast, tuna, like beef mince, whatever. You can swap it, but keep the grams the same. 200 grams of white potato, you can swap for 200 grams of sweet potato, whatever it is. So like you can keep the measurements the same and relatively hit the same numbers every day, whilst making these adjustments and keeping it a bit interesting, so it doesn't become, again, this overcomplicated situation where like, well, I don't want this meal, so I have to think about another meal now. But then I have to think about, well, how do I make sure that I change the grams to try and hit these other numbers? It becomes complicated. But if you just keep it whole foods and single ingredients, you just swap like for like, and you'll roughly stay within those calorie targets and be consistent. So that's ultimately why I believe this is the best way of eating. And I'll give you an example of like what my day of eating looks like. When I'm losing fat, when I'm maintaining it, it stays exactly the same. Meal one, like non-specific in terms of measurements, eggs, sourdough. Meal two, chicken, rice, vegetables or salad. Meal three is salmon or beef with white potato, sweet potato, and then vegetables. And then another meal I have is Greek yogurt with a scoop of protein powder, and then like tons of berries, honey, dark chocolate. I'll never get bored of that. It's simple. I follow it every day. It's what got me in shape, and it's what's going to keep me in shape. And if you're sat there thinking like, well, this is really boring, like how does he stick to this? One, I love it, but two, like I'm not a robot, I have a life as well, right? So my flexibility is having like 1 or 2 meals out a week. I love eating out. So like I will have a meal out, go somewhere and have whatever on the weekends, whether that's like a burger and chips or a pizza. There will always be at least one meal out I can enjoy. There'll probably be at least 1 or 2 pints on the weekends as well, because that's easy to fit in for me. And if I want to have a bit of ice cream, a bit of that I'll have it. You can still allocate day to day if you want, 10, 15% of your calories to have the other little things that you really enjoy, if it means that you can easily stick to the 80% as well. So I do recommend that. It's not just like 100% Mediterranean, 100% whole food. You can have that little bit of wiggle room to make it more enjoyable for yourself. But like, this isn't just about getting in shape. It's a way of living, in my opinion. And again, this is what's helped me get in shape, stay in shape, and I've helped over 300 guys now do the exact same thing whilst applying it to like their wants and needs specifically, because it's not the same as me, obviously. So that's basically it. And if you're sat there thinking, how do I apply this to myself? I've put together a free guide. It's called the Lean Physique Nutrition System. I'll pop the link below in the description. A few things you can do. One, download that guide. It's going to be really helpful for you to obviously get lean. The second thing, you can head over to my Instagram if you want some more content from me. The third thing, like this post, subscribe, because I'm literally going to be posting videos all the time. Helps me, helps the channel, helps it reach other people, because I would just want this to basically cut out all the fluff that is online and just simplify fitness for you so you can get in the best shape possible. So that's basically the video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful, and enjoy the rest of your week.